400 goals for Brad Marchand, the fifth Bruin in Bruins history to do that. Is he not recognized enough in his place in Bruins history, but beyond that? Is he not recognized enough for where he stands among Boston athletes in the here and now? And maybe for his entire career. He's always sort of been overshadowed by other players on the Bruins.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't have anyone to be overshadowed by on the Bruins. And he's playing now at a time when he's, again, up there with names like Busick and Espo and Rick Middleton and Patrice Bergeron. He becomes the fifth guy, and he's playing at a time in the here and now, a Boston sports scene that is not exactly loaded with superstars. And I don't know that he gets enough credit or recognition, or if he's considered one of those guys. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I think you could argue that Pastrnak gets more attention now, even than Marchand. But I think those kinds of things are subjective. I certainly don't overlook his accomplishments. I think he is a Hall of Fame caliber player. How he's perceived in Boston, I leave that for other people, but that's how I perceive him. I think he's been a really important part of that team for over a decade, and just the production is there. I mean, it shows it. But fifth guy? Is that what you said?
Fifth.
Only five
fifth
guys
Bruin
in history.
There's only 109 players in NHL history that have gotten to 400 goals.
Stop me if you've heard this before, but they are an original six franchise too. It's not like it's
it's been 100 years.
The Kraken. He's the only five guys.
Yeah, he's sandwiched between Rick Middleton and Ray Bourque. And those are
not bad.
Big historic Bruins names.
So do you guys feel like he's underappreciated?
I feel like he is.
I think, Beetle, you said it, overshadowed, because he played next to one of the all-time great Bruins for a lot of years. Patrice Bergeron is a obvious first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's, I think some people looked at it and said, Bergeron's the guy who carried that line, right? Marchand was kind of his running buddy, but you put, Patrice Bergeron with basically any two wings, and those two wings are going to be better. And you also had Zdeno Chara, first ballot Hall of Famer on that, on those teams as well. I think now that those guys are gone and he's wearing the C, I think you look at him maybe a little bit differently. But at the same time, like, his production hasn't quite been the same this year. Now, I look at Brad Marchand and I say, not only is his number going to be hanging in the rafters at the Garden someday, I think he's a Hockey Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I would agree. And I do, he has tailed off his production, and I think it would be easy to connect the dots and say, well, Bergeron retired and he went down. But he's also, now it's more a year removed from a significant injury.
Yeah.
But he's also up there in age, too. It's like his production is going to tail off anyway. And I don't think he was great last year. And I sort of chalked it up to the hip problem.
That was the injury, yeah.
And he's certainly. What did he snap last night? When he got the goal, it was a while.
10 games.
10. Yeah. That's a long time for him. For guys like that. So it hasn't been great, but I think it's. He's proven, I think, more than enough times that he's been more than just being about a product of being on Bergeron's line. There's a lot of guys that have been the third guy on that line and haven't produced the way Marchand has.
So my question is, how far up on the list can he get? He's now fifth with 400. He's going to pass Middleton. Patrice Bergeron's at 427. I'm pretty sure he passes that. I'm pretty sure he's going to break that. Does he get past Espo, who has 459?
So 59 more goals?
Yeah, does he have that in him?
What's he, 35?
Yeah.
He's almost 36.
2 more seasons?
Well, 2 more seasons
25?
if he's scoring 30 apiece.
Healthy and productive.
I'd
2 more.
I got to think he plays through like age 38, right?
He should be motivated to keep playing
and
because his Hall of Fame.
Him.
Pasternak probably passes him on the way.
But his Hall of Fame credentials will be improved with more years in the league and more goals.
So he could,
sure.
yeah.
Right?
He potentially ends up by the time he retires as number 2 in the Bruins all time,
which is pretty good.
Yeah, he could get there. You can make that argument easily.
It's such a great story too. The guy, who, like, I remember seeing him play, as a rookie in the NHL. I remember seeing him play in the minors. It's like there's no way you would look at that guy and go, he's anything more than maybe a third line.
He looked like a
grinder.
fourth line overachiever.
Yeah.
That first year, and you remember what it was like here, Beetle, right? You were here, Marchmont.
Oh, I know. I lived it.
Oh, we all did. I mean, I caught shrapnel on sunshine.com days. Marchmont. I don't understand Marchmont.
I don't even know what Marchmont
Why are
is.
they playing this guy?
And now he's in the Hall of Fame. Now he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's where he's on his way to. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.